Okay, there we go. Good evening. Happy Stampers. Welcome to Thursdays. Tools and Techniques Thursdays. Oh my gosh, a few minutes late. I'm hoping you can hear me. As you come on, please let me know. And if you are watching me on Facebook, hello. Be sure to share this with your friends and give me the thumbs up and hearts when you like things I'm showing you this evening. And if you are watching me on my YouTube channel, welcome, welcome. And be sure to subscribe so you know every time I post a video or come live on here. And if you're just watching me on replay in either place, welcome. And I hope you enjoy this tonight. So, Tools and Techniques Thursdays. So tonight I am doing a technique, and it's a fold. It's going to be a treat holder for Halloween, and it can be a gift card holder for a birthday or for the holidays, Christmas, anniversaries. I am taking one pattern. I'm going to alter it just a little bit to accommodate a treat instead of a gift card. Okay, now your gift cards are normally about roughly not quite 3.5 inches by like a little bit over 2 inches, about 2 1/8 inch. So you just need to make sure that your opening is big enough for that. And that's not where I altered this. I actually got this pattern years ago in a swap. I received a gift card holder, and I had jotted down what I thought would be the instructions and the measurements, and I can't find that gift card holder. I cannot find the things, but I found the instructions last night. So I thought, you know what? That's what I'm going to bring them on this week. So I thought, hey, can I adjust this to a treat holder for Halloween? So what do you say? Let's get started. Let's switch you guys around. Okay. Okay, I am hoping that you do not get any feedback now. So if you do, please just alert me, and I will completely turn my second thing that I'm using tonight for this broadcast. Whoops. My mic just fell off. Let's get that back on, first of all. Okay, so my mat. So what we are going to do is we are going to do our gift card holder first. Okay, so because since that is the first one that I had written down the instructions for. So we're going to start with a piece of designer series paper. And our designer series paper is going to measure 11 inches by 4 inches. So I need to cut this at 4 inches right here. And right now it is 12 inches. So I'm going to cut it down to 11. So I need to cut 1 inch off. Okay, now when you go to make this holder, if you have a designer series paper that is directional, okay, that means it's got a definite up and down. You want to put that to the inside. Mine tonight doesn't really have any direction to it, either side, so I could use either side. But let's say this was dogs, and they were sitting, and this was the head and this was the body. You would want to make that as the inside and not the outside, because when we flip this over, you're going to have some upright and some upside down. Okay, so our piece measures 11 inches by 4 inches. And now we're going to score it. So we're going to score this at 2 1/4 right here. So we're going to take our scoring blade and score it at 2 1/4. Get your pencils. And then we're going to score it at 7 1/2. So I need to take my arm out and score it at 7 1/2 inches. So to repeat, the piece is 11 by 4 inches, and we're scoring it at 2 1/4 and 7 1/2. Now I'm going to turn this, and I'm going to score at a 1/2 inch on each long side. So it's going to be a 1/2 inch. And we're going to flip it around, and we're going to score it at a 1/2 inch again. Okay, so let's see if we have the light. I'm just trying to see if you're going to be able to see these score lines better if I have the light on. Yes, you can. I'm going to turn that light back off because you get a reflection. So you see our 1/2 inch here, our 1/2 inch here. This is our 2 1/4 inch line. And then this is our 7 1/2 inch line. Okay, so with the 2 1/4 inch piece towards the top here. So we're going to do the 2 1/4, so it's up here. And we're going to line up on that 1/2 inch line. And this time we're going to want to take our cutting blade, and we're going to cut down to 4 inches. Okay, so you have a little line on your cutting blade. You want that to be at 4 inches. We're going to pick that up. We're going to turn it over and do the same thing on the other side. So you can start at the 4 inch line if you want and go up. I just find that this is easier when you are cutting it on a straight line to do it with your cutter. Now we're going to flip this back over, and now we have that 7 1/2 inch score line. We're going to go from that 1/2 inch line all the way to that score line, which is at 7 1/2 inches. And if I line it up this way, it's at 3 1/2 inches. I can line that up on the 1/2 inch line this way. Just put it down, keeping track of my score line, and just cutting right to that score line. Okay? So while I have my paper trimmer out, I have a piece here that measures, and it's just basic white, and it measures 2 3/4 inches by 5 inches. And I want to score at the 1/2 inch. And I am going to score all the way across on that 1/2 inch. Just score it really good. Okay? So now we've got our long cuts, and I'm going to cut these so that, and I'm just angling it so that we get a good fold. And I'm just going here, angling this one up here, doing the same thing down here up to that 4 inch line. So I'm just going to cut straight across because I do not have a score line there to follow. So I want to pay close attention to where that cutoff is. And then I'm going to go ahead and angle my cut again. I just like doing that when I have folds so that I have a little bit better fold line there and less bulk. Okay, so next step is we are going to go ahead and fold on all our score lines. And this is Designer Series paper, so it's really quite easy to fold. Okay, we're going to fold these in just like this. Okay, now this one is going to fold up, and it's going to adhere to those tabs. So I am going to take my tear and tape, And I am going to place tear and tape along each of these edges. Or wait till you guys see what it's a treat holder. It's same idea, just a little bit different measurements. Because I'm using a Twix bar, and a Twix bar is just a little bit thicker than your gift card. Okay, we're going to remove that. Pull that up and remove this. And then we're just going to fold that right over. Okay, and then we have this with the fold. Now, you could decorate this however you want. So I'm just going to do something real quick on here to decorate it. This is basically your holder. And I'm going to round these corners. I want them rounded with our corner rounder. And we're going to decorate it. So once again, you can decorate these with any stamp sets you have, any punches that you have. Just have fun with it. Okay, so we've got that. We're going to do the inside. And on the inside, I have got this piece. It's 2 3/4 by 5 inches. And I am going to put on here, I'm using the Penguin Place stamp set. And I love just using one stamp set whenever possible. And this one has some verses in it. So we are going to put the Season's Greetings on here. And I am going to stamp that in, we'll do Cherry Cobbler. It's a little bit darker. Cherry Cobbler or Real Red go with this. So we just want to stamp this. We're going to stamp it towards the top. And I think on each side, I am going to put one of those little trees. So I am going to grab my Just Jade because I want this bright and happy and cheerful. So we are going to grab our Just Jade, our block, and our Christmas tree. You could also, this would be really cute. We're going to use the penguin. But you could do this as a birthday and decorate it with the presents and the balloons. So we are just going to put these right here. And just think how fun it will be giving this gift this holiday season. And, you know, I have several friends who tell me, I just give gift cards. I'm tired of trying to figure out what everybody wants. Okay, so we are going to fold over on our score line and burnish that. Grab our tear and tape, run our tear and tape across. Now this is going to be the tricky part because I wrote it down and it was like I was trying to understand what I wrote. And it was like, okay, this is clear as mud. But I think it works. We're going to tuck this down and put it all the way down. And we're just going to leave, not fold that over, okay? So you want to center this however you want it centered. So this is the time to make sure it's where you want it to be. And we're going to just press down like that. And this is going to go up. Oh, it worked. Oh my gosh. See how that moves up? Can you see on the side there? Down and up. So all we'd have to do is take our gift card and take a little glue dot, just put it on there, put this here, and then that's going to move up and down as a gift. Okay, but we need to decorate it, right? So let's decorate it. We are going to grab our penguin punch. And we are going to punch out a little bit of white right here. Then a little bit of basic black for the penguin. And just punch him out right here. This guy is so much fun to play with. It's kind of like, it reminds me of paper dolls when I was little. It's so much fun. And I am planning on punching out a bunch of each, or even having my grandchildren do the punching for me, so that keeps them occupied even longer, and let them decorate some penguins. So we're going to punch 1, 2 little feet out, and let's glue them together. So we have our penguin. We need our, I brought it on the other side. Here we go. Nope. I need my liquid glue. I don't have it, so we will use tape for this. Be a little bit tricky, but we can get it done. Place this on, just like that. Then we have his little feet. We need to put his feet on with dimensionals, don't you think? But I think that the dimensional actually should be cut in half, because I don't want it showing. Even though that these are little minis, I am going to cut it in half. Right here and here. So like I said, you can decorate this. I'm just going to do this very simple tonight, but you can decorate this any way you want. I'm just putting this penguin on. I probably will add something later. But the whole idea of tonight is to show you a new technique for a newer or an updated version of an older gift card holder. Okay, we've got that. We need his little nose. Let's get the right one. And then I need his eyes. I always call them hims. Did you notice that? I used to hate that when people would call my dog him all the time when it was a she. So I always made it a point to say she. And I'm looking, this is the beak from the side. We want the one from the front. So let's grab our memento and do the eyes. You know, it would be fun if you were doing this for a child to do googly eyes, right? Think how fun that would be, doing some googly eyes on this guy. So fun. You know, and have the kids just have fun with it, right? Do little pom-poms for hats. Let's get his mouth up here. Okay, so we have him here. And I should have punched or die cut a circle, which I didn't do. So for right now, I'm just going to grab a dimensional. And we're just going to put him right on here. Oh, I have an idea. Oh, his one eye is bigger than the other. Oh, dear. You can't have that. Hang on. I'm going to take that dimensional off. Oh, dear. I wonder. I must have pressed harder on one side than the other. So let me. There we go. He's evened out now. You could even use one of those snowflakes. Those big snowflakes, the iridescent ones that we used the other night or the other day on our project. So I'm just going to pull this out. And these are great. They're iridescent. And you get 24 to a pack. So you get 4 sheets of 6. And you can color the fronts. The fronts are shiny. I would use the Stampin' Blends to color the front. But you can flip it over and use a brayer or your blending brushes and color your snowflakes. And once again, our dimensionals fit in the center right there. So we're just going to put that right about here. And look, that fits perfectly on there. And then we will get him on here, and I am going to use, because I'm not, you could put this in an envelope if you wanted, but I'm not worried about that. Actually, I want him, the dimensional, up just a little bit. I don't want it to go over the edge. So we're going to put it right there and then put him, centering him on there. So that's just a cute little gift card, and you can sign underneath it. You could put a tag up here. So that's the gift card, sliding gift card holder. Okay, are you ready? Now we're going to do a treat holder. So let me move all of these out of the way. Get my stamps out so that we don't lose them. Because I do not need any help in losing stamps. The other day, I had to laugh because the other day I had stamped on my project, Warming Thoughts to You This Season. And after my live was done, I went to put it away and I couldn't find it. I looked all over for this. And it's not a small stamp. It's a pretty big stamp. So I had to backtrack my steps, and I ended up finding them in the pearls container that I keep them in, and the stamp case. So that was like a harrowing little episode with me. Okay, back to our cutting. I am using the another designer series paper from Celebration. Don't forget, Celebration ends on the 30th, so you only have 7 days. This is the beautifully penned designer series paper. And like I said, I'm going to alter this. The gift card holder I did at 11 inches by 4 inches. Okay, so this one I want a little bit wider and a little bit longer. So I'm going to leave it at the full 12 inches, and I am going to cut it an inch wider. So I'm going to have it at 5 inches. So I just have to cut very little off of this piece. So this one is 12 by 5. Okay, so we're going to turn it this way. So 12 by 5. And we are going to, let me remember right, 2 1/4 and 7 1/2. Hang on. So we want this one scored at, we added an inch, so we're going to have to add, let me make sure. I should have written this down. 2 3/4. So 2 1/4. We're going to do this one at, we're going to add a 1/2 inch here. So we're going to do 2 1/2, or 2, instead of 2 1/4, we're going to do scored at 2 3/4. Okay. And then the next one, instead of 7 1/2, we need to add a 1/2 inch. We're going to score it at 8 inches. And let's pray that that's correct. It'll work. So we added a 1/2 inch to each score line. So it's 2 1/4 by 7 and the next one is at 7 3/4. So 2 3/4 and 8 inches. Yeah, a 1/2 inch. So 2 3/4 is our first score line, and the next one is at 8 inches. Now we're going to turn it, and before we score this at a 1/2 inch, I am going to leave it at scoring it at a 1/2 inch because I want more room. Okay, I want more room in the pouch area.
because we're putting a candy in there, so we need more room for that candy bar to sit into. So a 1/2 inch on each side. Then on the side, this is the 8-inch score line. So we are going to cut from that score line to the bottom. And from here, we are going to go from 12 inches to 8 inches. Okay. So I'm going to flip it this way so we do the same exact thing. Line it up on your 1/2 inch mark. We're going to start at the 12-inch line. Here, I'm off camera. The 12-inch line here, which is the end of the paper, and we're going to go up to the 8-inch line. So we're going up to 8 inches. We're going to lift it up, and we're going to find that cross score line here. We're going to start there and cut to the end. Okay, so the rest of what we do is basically going to be the same. We grab our paper snips. Let's cut to that score line there at an angle. This one here. We're going to find this one and cut up to it that way. And this one we will cut this way. So it's just a little bit bigger than our last one. Same basics though. Here's our score. Let's fold on that one. Let's fold on this one. And we just want to make sure that these overlap. Let's go ahead, fold on that one and fold on this one. Go ahead and grab our tear and tape, and let's put our tear and tape along here. So if you have a lot of scrap paper and not quite enough to do anything with it, as you can see, you just need a couple strips. You know, you need at least a 4-inch strip. You know, you could even, I just thought of this, you could even do this for a pencil holder. Okay, you could do this for a pencil holder and do it narrower. Okay, instead of 4 inches, you could probably do 2.5 or 2 3/4 inches, and then just tuck a pencil or two in there. You wouldn't have to do the lift up part. And they'd have to be short pencils. We're just going to run this down right there. So there is our pouch. Let's round our corners. And then I'm going to grab our Halloween 6x6 paper to decorate this, and some other funky colors, I think. I want to have some fun with this. So the inside, I'm going to make wider. I think this is 3 3/4 by 5. Yes. So 3 3/4 by 5. We're going to score that at a 1/2 inch. So let's grab our trimmer and our scoring blade. Did you catch that? I almost used the cutting blade for that. Okay, I am going to grab our Halloween stamp set. The Frightfully Cute. And so let's do Happy Halloween to You on the inside. I already have that out on a block. And no, let's do it in purple. Oh, let's do Gorgeous Grape. Okay. I love using purples and oranges with Halloween. Oops. I don't want Frightfully Cute. I want Happy Halloween. So Happy Halloween to you. Get that on there just like that. We'll close this one up. Let's fold this just like we did the other one. Open it back up. Grab our tear and tape. You know, you could use our Stampin' Seal Plus. You could use our liquid all-purpose glue, or green glue as I call it. For this, you do want a strong adhesive because you do not want it coming apart when they go to pull it up. So we have this. We're going to go ahead and tuck that right in there. Untuck that. You want that open. Okay. Fold it down and watch. Woo! Okay, let's grab our Kit Kat. Should probably wait to do this, but I can't because I want to see if it works. I have not tried this. So we are going to tuck that right in there. And it seems like it's short enough. Oh, look at that. Okay, so let's make this a little bit fancy. Now this is probably going to be a little bit fancier than what you would do normally. So I'm just taking some of our metallic, I call it my gauze, my gauze ribbon, our metallic mesh ribbon. And I'm just going to tie a knot. I love this ribbon. I was so happy that it came back. Okay, we are going to use some of our, let me see, tear and tape, and we're going to use it like tape. So we're going to go over the top of this to hold it in place because it's nice and strong. Fold that out. Basic is just to hold that. Okay, so let's grab some basic white. And let me see what I have here. I'm just grabbing a piece that I have. Let's measure it. So this one measures 2 inches. So we're going to do 2 by 2.5. Okay, then let's grab some gorgeous grape. And we will cut that at 2 1/4 by 2 3/4. So 2 1/4, or no, I'm going to do it 2 1/2. Let's see if this is 3 1/4. It is. So you've got those two. We need pumpkin pie. We need pumpkin pie. We need that orange in there. So we need this one, since this is 2 by 2.5. This one needs to be 2 3/4 by 2 1/4. So let's do the 2 1/4 by 2 3/4. And these all should layer upon one another. Okay. 2 3/4 is got to be 3 instead of 3 1/4. Cut that off. Let me see if I have any dies. Oh, I don't. I had some. Oh, I might have some in here. I had cut some dies out the other day, but that's okay. We will work with just the stamps tonight. So we are going to use the moon right here. And this is pale papaya. It's a little bit orangier than the yellow, but it's not, I didn't want yellow. Just stamp that right on there. Now let's get our little witch flying. Love her. And we're going to stamp her with our Memento ink. We have her flying right there. Just like that. And then we have Which Way to the Candy. And that is not going to fit completely on there. So let's layer this up and figure out how we are going to put that verse on there. Just layer this up and see how it kind of has a lighter yellowy cast once I put it on that pumpkin pie. Got that here. Let's get some dimensionals again, and we'll attach it with dimensionals. Now, like I said, you may not decorate it this much for your neighbor kids, but if you have your kids, they're for your friends' children, those are the ones that you are going to want to decorate something like this. Okay, so we're going to lift up this tab now on this tear and tape. Let me get, I can't pick it up. There we go. But you know, go into your stash and you have some patterned ribbon. You know, I remember our black and white striped ribbon a couple years ago. I think that would be so cool on here, combining it with some purple and some orange ribbons. So we're going to put this right on there, just like that. But we're not done. We need to do which way? To the candy. And we are going to do that in Gorgeous Grape. I've got my scrap here. We're probably going to fussy cut around this one. So let's grab my snips and cut around this like that. So I am actually going to be making some candy wraps for some large candy bars this year for Halloween, because we give away the regular size large candy bars. So we are going to grab some dimensionals here. Let's see how we can put this on here. You know, we have that black and white ribbon. Let me grab it right here. Our gingham ribbon. Speaking of the gingham, and let's just cut those two tabs off. I mean, we might as well go all out, right? We've gone this far with it. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to put a glue dot right on the center here of my ribbon. Fold it over. These would be so cute for the teachers, the principal, your co-workers, your boss. We're going to just put this on here like that. That's cute. Okay, and let's get our dimensionals and put a couple dimensionals on the back. You know, are you one that will sit there and keep adding and playing with things like this and just keep adding to it? You just keep looking at it and go, oh, I could do this. I could do that. But I was thinking of, we have the, like I said, the die cuts. I'm going to put this in a slant this way. I don't want to line everything up. We're going to put it down this way. There we go. But, you know, these die cuts, you got the owl, you know, and the fence and the witch's hat. I could just think of so many fun things that we could do on this. But like I said, the purpose of this tonight was showing you a tool or technique. And we're kind of doing the paper trimmer, showing you how to work that paper trimmer a little bit. Let's get some rhinestones on these. We need a little bit of sparkle on some of these circles here. There we go. So this is our candy holder just by adjusting the measurements. And I will give those measurements one more time. So get your notes so you can double check it. So on our gift card holder, the sliding gift card holder, our designer series paper was 11 by 4 inches, and I scored it at 2 1/4 and 7.5 along the short way, and then we turned it, and along the long edges we scored at 1/2 inch, and then we cut up to that 7.5 inch score line, and then from the other direction we cut up 4 inches. Okay, so that was this one. It's just so much fun. I could just sit here playing with this all night long. So on this one, for the candy, I adjusted it. Instead of 11 inches, I did 12 inches, and I did 5 inches across, and then I scored it at 2 3/4 and 7 3/4, and kept the 1/2 inch on the same side on the sides. And then I did my cutting just the same. I cut up to that 7 3/4 inch line, and then here I just went 4 inches, and it works out. But look at how fun the candy comes out to them. So what else can you think of doing with this? Give me a shout out. Let me know. I'm glad you enjoyed it this evening. And until next time, everybody, happy stamping.